Hi, this is Mike from CrossFit 204. I'm going to talk to you today about the workout Nancy. As you may or may not know, most CrossFit workouts have names, either male or female, much like the way a hurricane is named. This one is Nancy. It's a benchmark workout, which means it's one that you'll see pretty regularly, and it's something that you can keep track of and test your time and see how you did. If you get a lower time and a better score, you know you're getting fitter. Nancy is 5 rounds of a 400-meter run and then 15 overhead squats with a 95-pound barbell. 95-pound overhead squat is very challenging. You'll often see people doing it in Olympic weightlifting when they snatch a bar, catch it in a squat and stand up. That's the overhead squat, and it's the most challenging squat that you'll ever do. We're going to change it today and make it a little bit simpler. We're going to go a body weight squat, just because we don't want to have to worry right now about weight and about flexibility. We're just going to do the body weight squat, see if you get comfortable with that. And the added benefit is that you can do a body weight squat wherever you are. So if you're doing a 400-meter run on track or on Wellington Crescent, you can certainly do the squats on the side of the road without having to carry any equipment with you. So Nancy again, 5 rounds of a 400-meter run plus 15 overhead squats at 95 pounds. We're going to change that to 15 air squats or body weight squats. We're just using the weight of our body as resistance. Now, why do we do this? Well, obviously the 400 meters presents an interval, much like many of you have done already. 400-meter interval in the rest period, we're going to make the rest period a squat. Now we're going to squat 15 times. Now why do you do this? Well, in real life, you often don't have time to rest between activities, and sometimes you'll be running somewhere, have to do something, go back to running. Or you'll have to do a whole bunch of activities in a row, and you never know exactly what you're going to do. Let's say you're moving a house for a buddy. You're going to have to move things up and down the stairs. You never really know when you're going to be done, depending on how much furniture he's got. Okay? So the idea here is to blur the lines between cardio and strength training just a little bit and see if we can get increased fitness as a result. Today's workout combines running and the squat, which is a gymnastic activity. Eventually we can put in some barbells, kettlebells, or other weights and use that to add a little bit of resistance. But today, just the squat. 400-meter run is pretty self-explanatory. We've got one set up outside. Interestingly enough, the third fire hydrant is perfect for the distance. I'm going to show you quickly the basics of a body weight squat. There are 4 points I'd like you to remember as I give you the demonstration. We're looking for 4 different things in this squat. They're called points of performance, and what these do is make sure the movement looks safe and is very, very good for fitness. The idea first is we want hips to drop below your knees. So a full depth squat where we engage a whole lot of musculature, including the glutes, the hamstrings, the hips, quads, and everything else. The second thing is I want your lumbar curve maintained. That's this guy in the back here. I'd like that maintained as tight as possible with a rigid abdominal contraction. We don't want to overarch the back, but we want to maintain the body's natural position. So that's the second point. Point 3 is I'd like your knees to track over your toes, meaning they should be in a straight line. If the knees start to come outside the feet or rolling inside, even worse, then we've got some problems that we need to straighten out, like pushing or pulling those knees right in line where they can work mechanically as they were intended. The fourth thing is that I'd like you to keep the weight in your heels as much as possible. Obviously you're not water skiing or barefoot water skiing, keeping your weight in your heels completely, but we'd like the weight centered back a little bit because most people will squat forward on their toes like a back catcher. And we want to use the hips and butt. The way we do that is by sending it back and keeping the weight in the heels. I'm going to give you a few different squats here, then we'll go over these points one more time. Alright, so that's the air squat. Again, what we're looking for is those 4 things. Do you remember what they are? We're looking for full depth, hips below knees. We want that lumbar curve maintained. We want the knees to track over the toes, and we want the weight to be in the heels. The way you do this efficiently is by setting up with a shoulder width stance, with toes pointed slightly up at about 30 degrees. From there, I'm going to keep my chest up and block that with my hand. And keep everything very, very tight. And I'm going to send my hips back first, like I'm closing the car door with a bag of groceries in my arms, with my butt back. The knees will bend, but I'd like you to think less about the knees and more about sending the hips back, maintaining the weight in your heels. Back. Full depth is when your hips are below your knees, and you want your chest as upright as possible. Notice here the lumbar curve as best as I can. I'm maintaining that. If it's not there, it'll look like this when people are squatting when they're tired. that rounded back often happens. Strive to avoid that at all costs by keeping everything tight. This is a core workout. Your core is keeping your lumbar curved from the front, sending everything back. Knees are in line with the toes. If they're rolling in like this, you've got some problems. If they're out too far, less common, but also problematic. Keep your knees in line with your toes and your chest up. Arms, as a reminder when you're starting, should go overhead because that's going to cue you to keep your chest up. If the arms are down, everything seems to sag. So in the beginning, I'll get you to keep your arms up. You're going to do 15 reps of that. At the beginning, take them very nice and slow. Do your best to work on the form. Ask yourself, are those 4 points of performance being maintained? First off, this will start with a run. I'll show you that. Then we're going to come back in, do some squats, and we're going to do that 5 times. And that's the workout dancing. Let's go take a run. All right, it's a great October day for a run. The weather is beautiful. I'm going to run from our door to the 3rd fire hydrant down the street, which is a 400-meter run, 200-meter turnaround, obviously. I'm going to come back in here. As soon as I get inside, I'm going to do 15 squats with the best form that I can manage. Then I'm going to go do 4 more rounds of that for a total of 5 400-meter runs and 15 squats in each round. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1, go. "14, 15, time." If I had actually done the workout, I'd be breathing a lot harder right now. The workout's pretty challenging. If it's not challenging with the bodyweight squats, pick up a weight like a dumbbell, a barbell, kettlebell, or something that you can hold to make the squats a little bit more challenging. Again, the form doesn't change at all in the squats. All you're doing is adding a little bit of weight. Eventually, we'd like to add 95 pounds overhead and then have you do the workout as RX or as prescribed. At that weight, it's a very challenging workout. It can still be challenging with bodyweight squats because we're combining a run with gymnastics, and it's possible you haven't tried that before and it'll provide a new stimulation for the body. That's what we're trying to do, give you a new stimulation, combine some different aspects of fitness, and try and create a workout that's fun, but also very challenging, and something that'll give you increased performance down the line. If you'd like to look at other workouts that we've done, check out CrossFit204.com. We've got in the workout section everything we've done for the last 4 or 5 months, and you can select workouts and try them out to see how you feel. If you want to post your times, please do. We'd love to hear how you do. Till next time, I'm Mike from CrossFit204. Have a great workout.